Tristan, let's talk about New Orleans. They open up at 7.5 after going 9-8 last season. I know you don't have a lot of faith in Derek Carr. Do you think that he can get it done this year? Do you think he could take them over?
I think he could take them over. I'm really conflicted on this one. Genuinely. Every ounce of my being and soul wants to hammer the under because I think the offensive line is going to be so atrocious. But somehow, and I don't like Dennis Allen. I think he's one of the worst coaches in the league. I really, is there a more boring coach than Dennis Allen? Seriously, if you had a franchise and they're like, guys, we hired Dennis Allen, that's what you would hear. Good defensive guy. Seriously, good defensive guy. But the Saints don't have a lot of good pieces. The offensive line genuinely might end up being the worst in the league. We'll see if Carr and Olave and Shaheed can survive it. I think they'll manage. I kind of want to lean over just because they won 9 games last year, and I don't feel like they're significantly worse. Maybe a little worse, but I don't know.
So we're the big step up here. So they finished 10th overall in defense last year, but they also added Chase Young and Willie Gay this year. So your defense it has to be better. If you're going to pay Chase Young this type of money,
I don't think it does have to be better. I think that was a mistake to pay Chase Young.
Well, they paid him $13 million. Okay, so on a 1-year deal. So I think Chase Young added to this team with Willie Gay. That is a plus in the positive side, right? It has to be a little bit better.
I don't know. I don't know if I'm as certain about that as you are.
If they finish 10th overall in defense, you may finish 9th now. It's at least 1 point up for me, at least. But I think with that, I had them. I was thinking under here like you, but I do think going over here is probably, with 9 wins last year, they've done some improvements in the offseason, like I said, on defense at least, and I think that gets them at least 8 wins, right? I'm going to sadly agree with you. I am going over just because it seems like they win 8-9 games each year. And that's kind of what they're doing in the Dennis Allen era. I thought they would be a lot better last year and they burned me. So I really want to go under and say they're going to be terrible, but somehow they find a way to win more games than they should. Derek Carr, you said I don't like him. I actually, I think he's fine. He's below average, but I don't expect him to do much with this offensive line. It's going to be terrible. I think he's going to be trying to survive. In the mock draft that we've done like 5 of them, and Chris Olave has gone pretty high up. I think this receiving core is about to take a step forward that most people probably won't be expecting, but I think Olave and Shaheed are going to be Shaheed's going to be a rising star this year. He was a little bit last year, but even more so in 2024. I think Chris Olave is really going to open up this year. I think he's going to be a breakout player and do a lot more than we've seen him do in the last, season or 2 that he's been in the league.
Well, you're wrong because he's not going to have the ball. The quarterback's not going to have time to throw him the ball. The offense is going to be abysmal. I think Olave is very, very good. I think he's going to look about how he's looked every year and, wish he was on a better team because he's excellent. I just don't. I'm sorry. I don't have a ton of analysis because I just don't know what to expect for the Saints. I feel like they should be horrible. Somehow they're going to find a way not to be, and they're going to keep kicking the can down the road because that salary cap void year crap that they've doing, the bill is coming due, and it's probably going to come due next year because they keep just kicking the can down the road. Eventually, they just have to bite the bullet. Next year is probably the year to do it, but somehow they'll find a way to win 8 games and be ultimately irrelevant.
Tristan, I like to be an optimist, and I like to see the silver lining in everything, so I think he's going to be a lot better than most people think. I think he's a breakout player this year, and you can't change my mind unless he starts doing bad, and then I'll probably change my answer.
That's a good idea. Change your mind then.
This episode never happened. But anyway.
We'll erase it, yeah.